Okay folks, this will be a challenging one. I don't know if this is going to turn up looking any good. We'll soon find out. This user interface is a pain. I just hit that dumb button, auto rotate. Must be the location of the button that it gets in the way. Most photocopiers nowadays use the flick and drag of some script, and it's really quite cumbersome. I do prefer the old-fashioned tabs, which are a lot easier to deal with, and you don't keep accidentally bumping buttons all the time and feeling like you're going to bump buttons. I actually think this is going to be, we're going to make this black and white from colour. See what we do with this piece, if it's going to work at all. Anyway, enough of that. It is a Tooheys bottle cap. Now this was not from me, this I found on the ground, and I just figured we'll just photocopy this little iconic slogan, I feel like a Tooheys. Okay, I feel like a Tooheys, I feel like a Tooheys, I feel like a Tooheys or two. Very Aussie. I don't follow this shit, I don't even drink anything, folks. I used to have the occasional drink, but I'm not a person that's ever gotten tipsy or drunk, and I don't encourage it. I'm against it, folks. But you know, I know people love their beer, and there's nothing wrong with knocking back a what do they call it? A six-pack, or not a six-pack? One beer, a bottle, a tinny, whatever. I'm not into all this beer drinking culture. I don't drink anything now at all. I'm what's known in the old-fashioned world as a teetotaler, which is someone who's basically a non-drinker. So I'm a non-drinker, folks, and I'm basically what used to be known as a teetotaler. It's a daggy sounding word, but it's true. I'm a non-drinker, folks. And that's too dark. I think this one looked better. So this is the one we just did. I think we made it too fucking dark. But I just want to get that looking more prominent than that. But I think we overdid it. I think the dot matrix original is not suitable for this. I'm just going to do another in a normal, see if darkening it just a little bit will help. I'm not a beer person anyway, even when I did have the odd drink. I just wasn't into beer. Beer's too bitter. I don't like the bitterness of beer. And that's it. That looks better, I think. I think that's a good compromise for this. So I'm going to use this as our master copy. Make something out of it, folks. But yeah, it's a very Aussie, part of Aussie culture to drink beer. Very much so. So I'll just get rid of this piece of shit. I feel like a Tooheys. I think I forgot to switch on the colour. I was going to make this into a colour image eventually. So I'm just going to switch back all these colours. Put them all back into play. And the black is already there. I think we're going to maybe make this one a bit smaller. or a lot smaller. I feel like a Tooheys. Yeah, that's come up looking quite interesting, as a Tooheys should. I think we can utilise that. Utilising Tooheys. I feel like a Tooheys. I just feel like breaking out into song over this, even though I'm a non-drinker and I'm a person who hates advertising as a general rule of thumb. For some reason, this fucking advertising slogan's just gotten in my head. Seen it too often on the TV, especially when the cricket's being played, because most kids, just face it, most people who watch cricket love their beer and they just love to knock one back in front of the television while they're watching their favourite sport. Cricket is one of the favourite sports that we Aussies watch as a general populace. I used to have the cricket on. My family used to put the cricket on, and I used to put it on as well, but I mainly, when I was living alone and I had the cricket on, I mainly did it because I needed the sense of company. Like, it gets really lonely when everything's all quiet, so you put the television on just to fucking make yourself feel less lonely in the attempt of making yourself feel less lonely. And that's what I sometimes still do that. But I really need to get in touch with my partner Luigi, and I'm trying to get on the 6 o'clock news to do that. And it's proving to be really difficult trying to get the TV channels interested. And they've got a lot of things on their agenda, including sport. And sport is indeed will take more precedent than a person like myself trying to get my creative photocopier use out there on the airwaves, and it's proven to be really, really, really difficult trying to do that when the news channels like to prioritise the sport as well as a load of other shit. And really, the whole culture of television is bullshit. They just like to please small-minded little dum-dums whose typical IQ is 90 to 110. Not a very smart crowd, but a very large crowd and a very vocal crowd. Crowd-pleasing, ass-licking, ass-sniffing. And I just found a fucking fruit fly. See, I've got holes in my fucking fly screens through these stupid dum-dum sulfur-crested cockatoos, and I'm going to have to get some new batteries for my bug sprayer, because I had a look and the rechargeable batteries have perished, and I'm really trying to I'm hoping to get out of here before then, because I'm really lonely and I need to get in touch with my partner Luigi, and the 6 o'clock news are making it really difficult, and I really don't feel like having to deal with fruit flies in my unit, because some fucking people have been feeding the bloody birds, and the fucking birds have just been inundating my fucking, occasionally coming and chewing on my fucking fly screens. And I don't like bugs. I don't like insects, especially flies and fruit flies. Mozzies are really bad because you can't sleep. So I'm really not happy being here on my own in this kind of situation. I just want to kill that fucking fruit fly. That's a large fruit fly too, as far as those sorts of flies go. So I'm going to have to fucking get some more rechargeable batteries perhaps, and make sure I keep charging them and using it. So I hadn't used it, and I guess that's probably why the batteries have just perished on me. Has been gone into what's known as a deep discharge. I think that's what it's called in battery terminology. A deep discharge means that once it goes right down, it fucks up the battery. So yeah, so I don't want any fucking insects floating around this place. And that's come up looking quite a treat. I think we can now call this demo quits.